everyone, and welcome back to the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. This is another exclusive episode. Before we get into our special guests, I'd like to shout out our two sponsors. Our first sponsor, the MMC Insurance Company, located on Trent Road, owned by Travis Wayne, and he does home, auto, and life insurance. And Augie Paluga, New Bern Toyota, located in James City, one of the best car salesmen in Eastern North Carolina. So if you need any of those things, go contact our two sponsors, and I promise you won't be disappointed. And now for our special guest, 2014 football state champion for New Bern High School. Yeah, he's a state champion. He got a ring, and now he got his own podcast called AllDaeEntertainment, and he's a boxer, and he's a DJ. Man, this man on fire right now. My boy Dae Dae, how you doing, big bro?
All right,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you been doing? I mean, I just said everything, so I know you've been busy, but
yeah,
how you been doing?
Working, paying the bills. Like you say, boxing, DJing. As you see, the studio.
Yes, sir.
Just trying to stay busy, man, and just keep my hand in everything else. Just a jack of all trades, pretty much.
Yes, sir. I respect it, man. So before we get into all that, tell the people how you grew up, man.
Right here in New Bern.
Mom and dad?
Yeah, mom and dad. Me and my mom. We moved here when I was about 5 or 6 or so. So single mom. And then till she met my stepdad and everything. But yeah, man, moved here. Started playing basketball. First sport I played at 6 years old.
Where you get started at?
West New Bern.
Oh man, the center, recreation center.
The center, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So West New Bern, that was the place, and it just took off from there.
So how you get into football? I told the people you had a ring. So how you get into football?
Football, it was just, if you're from New Bern, if you play basketball, you pretty much can play football. So
for a fact.
That's kind of normally here. So I don't know, it's just
hanging out with the friends. And
yeah, everybody did it. Mom just put me into it, and I just pretty much fell in love with it, just like basketball. So, I mean, that's pretty much what happened,
Definitely for a fact. So, Mom was a big influence in your life? Did she have hands on everything you was doing?
She did, man. She was very supportive, and she played basketball herself. So, Mom was a point guard, just like I was a point guard. So, she since, since I graduated high school, Mom always been supportive. She rarely missed any game, so she always made sure that I got to practice, that I was good, taken care of. Even with AAU, things like that, she always made sure I had money to be able to make it to those tournaments and things like that. So Mom was definitely supportive when it came to sports.
Right. Shout out to Mom Dukes, man.
Yeah,
for real. Daggone right. So winning that state championship at New Bern High School. Talk about that feeling, and talk about playing with those group of guys and winning that state championship.
It was great, man. It was like no feeling like I couldn't really, sing. Because a lot of people don't know, I really could have won stage 2 with the 2012 team. But
with Braylon and them.
Yeah, but I decided to play basketball because they needed me. Because all them was, a lot of football players, well, they were playing, a lot of basketball players were still playing football during that time. And they were still, on the basketball
going into the deep playoffs, so games were starting in basketball.
Yeah, so it kind of interrupted the season. So they kind of needed some players to move up. And I kind of got that, that call to move up. And I'm like, well, it's either go ahead and play or freeze on the sideline and don't play. But I wish I did,
Freeze and get that ring.
Yeah,
but
get that ring.
It all happened for a reason.
But
so talk about that decision. Did anybody have their influences on that decision? Because, a lot of days, a lot of kids are told what to do, or not told but suggested, you should do this, you should do that. So did anybody have that ear, that voice in your ear to tell you, hey, play basketball right now? Or was that just something in your heart to do?
Kind of both. Like, I kind of talked to my folks about it, and they kind of told me, it's your decision, but it would be kind of good if you can go ahead and they was kind of 50-50 with either or, because it was like they really had a good chance of winning, which they did, and it was like, well, if you do go play basketball, you can kind of get a good look. So because I was a freshman. I was a freshman at that time, or sophomore.
Getting called up. So I know that was like a big deal.
Yeah, and that's what it was too. So it was like, if you can go ahead and get that look, you're going to have a good, get more playing time when you get to your junior and your
senior year.
Senior year. and you'll probably start or so. So that's what it was about. But like I say, with my folks, it was kind of 50-50. With friends in high school, boys was like, man, you dumb, man. They was getting at me, man. You should have played. So I heard. You
should have got that ring, man.
I heard a lot of flack, but I went with my heart, so I wasn't disappointed. And I got it.
And you still got that ring.
I still got it to where I earned it.
Right, my man.
When I was with them, I can't really say that I was going to earn it because I would have just been
on the sideline just watching them back up. Yeah.
And that's what I told a lot of people. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm really earning it. I do want to earn it. And they'd be like, well, you practice, which I do get.
I want to get in the game.
I want to get in the game. I want to, say that I really did something. But
for a fact.
But yeah, man.
Daggone right. So let's talk about after that. Because now we a DJ and we boxing. Now, those two things are so far away from each other. How did you get your mind to be like, okay, I'm going to start boxing?
Yeah, it's kind of like you, bro. How we kind of, was saying. It was like, after I graduated, like I said, I didn't go to college or nothing like that. I could have went to play like Division III, but of course I would have had to pay to go to college, and I wasn't paying like $40,000 for tuition to go to school. But so I was kind of trying to find my calling too, or like at least sport wise, like something I still wanted to do, and I always wanted to box. Well, I'm gonna say I always wanted to really do like UFC. But when I started seeing people's ears and stuff, I was like, maybe I should do boxing.
You should just
yeah. But I knew I wanted to fight.
That's a fact.
It was always something I kind of wanted to try, and when I started doing it, man, I fell in love with it as well, and I realized it's actually the hardest sport I ever did. It's actually harder than football, basketball, track, and soccer, which I also did. But once I started doing it, man, I really just fell in love with it. You know what I mean? So.
Is that the same with DJing too? Or that was just something out of your depression? It was just like, okay, I just need to find some things to do. Or was that something?
DJing, that was really more so my dad, my stepdad. He had just brought me a DJ deck when I was about 16, and I kind of just looked at it as a side hustle. You know what I mean? Just something else to do. And I do love music too. Like music is another kind of passion of mine. So DJing, when I did start doing it, I kind of fell in love with it too, though, because I love controlling the crowd, and I love seeing them dancing to the music that I'm actually playing, and seeing them having a good time, whether it's a cookout, a wedding, just a 80th birthday party for, you know what I'm saying, like a senior citizen or so. So it kind of came hand in hand too, but I really have to give a shout out to my dad for that, because he was the one that got me into that. So
that's a fact. So how do you find the time to manage all these things? To DJ, to box. Oh, before I go, do you have any kids?
Nah, no kids.
Oh, okay, so you do got time. Okay, so not all the time in the world, but
yeah.
Job, DJing, boxing. How did you find the time to just manage all these things? What happens if two events at once come and happen? Like
it's hard. That's one of my challenges right now, because I do too many things like DJing, boxing. I can do music. I can make beats. I do videography, photography. I just do too many things, man, and
that's a great thing.
It's kind of man. It's kind of hard to choose what I love the most. I think I'm one of those people who just love to do more than one thing, but it is a challenge, man. Being that I'm working, trying to pay bills, and then on my off time, it's like you gotta kind of sort it out. But if something came like two things at the same time, I would just have to I had to pick one of those things to do, but it's a challenge. I'm still trying to weed the ins and the outs of it. So
that's a fact.
So yeah, man.
That's most definitely. So tell the world what's next, man.
What's next?
What's next for Dae Dae, man? What's next for AllDaeEntertainment, for DJing, for what's the next steps to all these things?
Well, with DJing, I just did a comedy show last night, so we definitely, since COVID is kind of easing things back, kind of getting back to normal. I'm starting to get more gigs. I got some weddings coming up, things like that next month. So I got a lot of more gigs. I got to do New Bern High prom and everything like that. So DJing,
that's a big
the
time,
business
man.
is coming back.
Most definitely.
Boxing, I got a lot of fights coming up because me and my coach, we're trying to get to about 10 fights so I can go fight in nationals. So I'm really.
So 10 quick fights, or are we all in a week, 2 weeks?
I gotta get 10 nationals. Is in November, I believe. November.
Okay, so we got some time.
So I gotta get 10 fights, amateur fights, before I can be eligible for nationals. So boxing, we training. We're working hard for that too. And as far as podcasts, interviewing, photography, I plan on getting back on that with AllDaeEntertainment. So my podcast is actually called Talk of the Day Podcast.
For a fact.
So we're gonna try to get back, getting back on that too. I just gotta find the time. That's it, man.
Yes,
the time.
sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
the time.
And there y'all have it, y'all. It's the end of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show with 2014 state championship football winner, Dae Dae. We out. Thank you, everyone, for watching the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. I appreciate your love and support. Continue to show your love and support by clicking the subscribe button below the video. Tune in to next week's episode of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. Love, peace, we out.